chat works. Hold up. If I do this. Oh, look at that. It appears to be working. Though it's not caught up. All right, do I watch baseball? Not really. If Jays make the playoffs, I'll watch, but I'm not super into baseball. So my plan today is I'm gonna play some Advance Wars, and we're gonna chat. This is a turn-based game, so I'm not gonna be, ignoring all of you, but we can chat about whatever's happening. I don't. I feel like this week, at least for me, it's been kind of slow in terms of things that I want to talk about and cover, and it's just I don't know. I'm also trying not to focus too much on terrible stories that get me depressed because I just don't. There's so many people cover all the shitty things, and you know what? If you're like me, you need to have a little, I don't know, uplifting news in your life. So I tend to, at least recently, try to focus more on things that get me excited, things that give me hope, like strikes. I covered the strike that's happening in Canada recently. Politicians that are saying the right thing. So it's just, in terms of that stuff this week, there hasn't been a whole lot of positive news. It's just been, and I could have covered, Elon Musk and that SpaceX. The whole SpaceX thing yesterday was so ridiculous. But at the end of the day, who really cares? This is what I put on Twitter, and I still don't really understand. Why is there so much interest in this rocket, in SpaceX? Man made it to the moon in 1969, and we're supposed to be excited about rockets taking off from a launch pad? Like, I just don't. This is, and the amount of investment, the $15 billion in government contracts to SpaceX, $15 billion. NASA never, as far as I can remember, did not intentionally blow up rockets that they spent billions of dollars to make. They did a lot of tests, in controlled situations, but I don't think they went and built they blew up rockets or blew up jets, but not on purpose. That SpaceX is now trying to claim that they did it on purpose. Okay. It seems like a massive waste of resources when you are giving that kind of money to a private company. It's one thing for NASA to invest and the public to invest in these sorts of technologies and science, but for SpaceX to pick up billions in government contracts, especially when someone like Elon Musk, that clown, is the one controlling the company, to me, it's so ridiculous. But apart from that, there hasn't been a lot of big news this week. Is David playing Advance Wars? Really curious if he played it when he was younger. I did not. So my brother was super into Advance Wars. And actually, here is my original Game Boy Advance. Or this may be my brother's. Because I think he had a purple one and mine was black. Was there a black one? I don't know. But we each had one. And regardless, this is one of the original ones that we had. So he was super into Advance Wars. I was not into strategy games or RPGs back then. I don't know, didn't have the patience. I was a huge gamer. Like, don't get me wrong. I was like, for a large part of my life, my goal was to somehow work in video games. So I was massively into games, but I just could not get into turn-based games until more recently. I'm not sure if it's because I matured or gave them the actual, chance to grab me. But now I'm super into them to the point where here's Tales of Vesperia going. Like, I have multiple RPGs on the go. May even have more in here. I got a couple of Valkyrie Chronicle games going. Like the Shin Megami Tensei 5. So there's a lot. There's too many now. Because I'm like overdosing since I missed so many years of fantastic turn-based games. So I'm super into JRPGs and especially tactical turn-based games like Advance Wars. So I'm guessing I'm going to love this game, just because I am very much into this genre now. Are you into Nintendo? Do you have other consoles? I have. I play every console. I just don't play PC games because I can't. I'm not super into keeping up a PC. I feel like I don't need it either. I have a Steam Deck. That's kind of where I can grab games on Steam if I need something that isn't on any other console. Are you excited for the new Zelda, or are you not really into Zelda? I'm super excited for the new Zelda. So I'm hoping to get a good fill of Advance Wars before Zelda comes out. But I do expect to go back to Advance Wars even after I start Zelda, just because I feel like Advance Wars is a game where you can kind of jump in and out of, whereas Zelda is one that's going to just I'm going to guess grab me for a month until I finish it. I saw a Final Fantasy. Here we go. Are you a Final Fantasy fan? I am. Sorry, I just want to look at this chat. Is this chat coming out okay on screen? Looks fine. Okay, good. Yeah. So the only Final Fantasy, since I'm late into RPGs, the only Final Fantasy game I've actually beaten is the remake, Final Fantasy VII remake. But the new one I'm very excited for. It's a proper action RPG now, so I'm looking forward to it. And I get the hardcore people; they're kind of angry that Final Fantasy is no longer turn-based, but it hasn't really been proper turn-based for years. So I'm just glad they're kind of ripping the Band-Aid off and trying to essentially make a mainstream RPG. And they have other fantastic turn-based games like Octopath Traveler 2 just came out, so it's not like they're not serving that audience. All right. You're about to watch Leftist Mafia. Celeste, I don't think you're going to enjoy this stream. You can watch this. Maybe you will enjoy me on here because I'm still chatting. But knowing you, Celeste, I think you will likely enjoy the Leftist Mafia podcast maybe a little more. Okay. Should I just start jumping into this? I have never played Advance Wars. Never in my life. Did I ever get around to playing Tactics Ogre? I did play. I played a few hours, and maybe my expectations were too high. Coming off of Triangle Strategy, I could not get into it the way that I got into Triangle Strategy. I'm not sure what it was. I think it seemed overly convoluted in some ways. It's a game I would love to return to, but for some reason it didn't grab me the way I thought it was going to grab me. Triangle Strategy, though, are my favorites. Look at this beautiful animation. I'm going to turn the audio down a bit so you can still hear me. How's audio? Good? Do you play FPS games? Yes. But not as much recently, but the one I'll always go back to is Halo. I always enjoy playing Halo, even though it's got its problems. The new one does, Infinite, with the lack of updates, but still good stuff. You play the Pixel remasters? That's also on my list. I want to play Final Fantasy VI. Have you played Pikmin? Yes, I have. Cool. Final Fantasy died with 12. You're one of those people. If you enjoyed SMT5, 3 is also available. I have 3. I have not opened it, but I have it. I bought it on when it was on sale on Switch. I'm sort of afraid of it though. I hear it's very tough, so I'm not sure I'm ready to play SMT3. Celeste says, I didn't know you like to watch reality TV like Love is Blind. I'm watching that before the Little Mermaid, Aladdin, Shrek franchise, etc. No.